Glad to have you join us again. Let's get talking now. Nigeria's consulting industry is rapidly growing due to demand and economic opportunities as firms provide innovative solutions to remain competitive, as competition is high for businesses regardless of service line or expertise required. Despite client organization building internal consulting capabilities, consulting opportunities for firms have increased due to more competition in the market. Amid challenges such as inflation, slow economic diversification, insecurity and policy somersaults of the government, the consulting industry in Nigeria has grown at 14.2%, and the benefits outweigh the challenge, and the country is projected to have the highest nominal per capita in the West African region at $9.148 million this year. To discuss this further with me, I am now being joined live virtually by a management consultant and head of business at Net Factory Company Limited, Prince Chibudu. Thank you so much for joining us, Prince. I hope I got your surname rightly pronounced.
You did. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so let's get into the conversation. I'll start my interview question now with your assessment of the Nigerian consulting industry or Nigerian consulting landscape. How far has this sector performed in the first half of this year despite macroeconomic headwinds?
So currently, the consulting industry, while there isn't clear, cut out statistics on like financial services, for the consulting industry, we've been playing around between 5 to 7% growth presently, which is really good considering the fact that there's been a lot of turbulence in the economy owing to the recent policies and issues that came up last year, towards the end of last year and early into the part of the year. So currently, the industry is doing really well. A lot of new businesses in the consulting space has also started within the last 1 year, and there's been a lot of factors, that has given rise to this. But currently, the industry is doing quite well.
Okay, good one. You did make mention of the rise of consulting firms coming up in the country, despite the harsh operating environment. What would you say is responsible for this upsurge?
Consulting industry is driven by two things: knowledge and expertise, right? And because of the changing climate of the global business space, right, knowledge is shifting from what you had before. There's a new kind of knowledge. There's new financial kind of services. There's new technology. So this new knowledge is giving rise to the demand for new type of skill. And this is making consulting firms spring up. Usually, most consulting firms will play in financial services, strategy, operational efficiency. But right now, aside from financial services, technology infrastructure, it's a big space. Digital transformation is a big space where a lot of consulting companies are beginning to spring up. Why? Because there are a lot of initiatives that are being driven both by government and private sector in terms of building organizations that are more digitally connected, that offer seamless work processes, which people within these organizations, the current management team, the current operations team, don't have this expertise. So they need to outsource, right, this expertise, and that is the gap where a lot of consulting firms have plugged into and are now playing, which has increased the number of consulting firms, consulting services that we have currently.
Okay, good one there. Now, despite the upsurge of consulting firm in the country, the industry, you will agree with me, is still dominated by international organizations. You have the likes of PwC, KPMG, Deloitte, Ernst & Young, to mention but a few. With these big four still dominating the landscape, how well can our own consulting firm be able to compete favorably and stay in business?
So, the big fours, for it to compete with the big four, we must really get very big as well. And why are they the big four? They are the big four because of the kind of services that they render, the level of expertise that they have. You can be sure of the quality. There's a lot of quality assurance that you get by engaging in their services. So for local firms within the country, you need to outsource that expertise. So somehow you need to be able to get into, the kind of knowledge that they are offering and offer that same value, that same quality, to your clients, to your customers. If you can do that, then you begin to play at the level that they play. How do you get it? Knowledge transfer, basically. You just have to get the knowledge from wherever, they have it. This could be in terms of working on projects together where those big fours also play. It could be in terms of, getting projects that they are also working on. It could be in terms of training, certifications that would give you the edge. Another thing that makes consulting, like I said, is the expertise. But the expertise is highly dependent on your human capital. So the kind and the quality of people, the expertise that they have, the knowledge that they have, is what makes those brands as strong as they are. So if you can build your team to the place where they have the capacity, they have the knowledge, they have the skill, they have the expertise to offer the same kind of value, the same kind of service, then you're on your way to competing with those organizations.
We've also seen in Nigeria where there seemed to be some kind of partnership of some sort with our own consulting firm, with the international consulting firm. I know of Pedabo Professional Consulting Firm being associated with another international firm. What do you make of this kind of collaboration? Would this, in a way, expand the consulting landscape in Nigeria?
Definitely. Like I mentioned, how do you play in the same space, or how do you become as big as the big fours? It's by knowledge transfer. Knowledge transfer comes by either working on the project together, or implementing a project together. So there are multinationals that are looking to come to Nigeria, set up facilities, start running operations in Nigeria, but they don't understand, the local economic landscape. So they need people, businesses, organizations that understand the local landscape, right, that can help them to penetrate into the market effectively. So what does that bring about? It brings about collaboration. So the multinational has the knowledge, they have the finance, but the local organization understands the business landscape. So what happens is that collaboration brings, better penetration for the MNCs that are looking to penetrate into the local market, which is, that's the unique selling point, right, for the local organization. By establishing that partnership, what happens is there's a knowledge transfer. So you begin to get access to kind of knowledge, expertise, opportunities that the multinationals have, while the multinationals also get to understand your landscape, so they can offer services. A company coming from maybe the United States looking to set up in Lagos would most likely not offer services in the same form that it is. You need to tweak, your service. You need to tweak your product for it to fit into the market, into the local market. You might need to change your packaging. You might need to change the offering. You might need to change the cost, for it to suit the local market. And that is the benefit, right, that the local organization brings on board. So that partnership helps in knowledge transfer and also helps in the penetration of new knowledge into Nigerian economy.